Welcome to Heart, Soul, Mind, and Strength, where we work toward loving God with everything that makes us human. Have you noticed lately how much the temperature has gone up in our culture? Could it be that we're oversimplifying things and trying to fit everyone we meet or interact with into one of two groups? Should we see people as part of a group or as a unique individual? Let's take a look. If there's one thing that's true in our culture today, it's that most people seem to oversimplify just about everything. This happens in religious circles, politics. I see it in healthcare and fitness. I see it with various worldviews and philosophies. For example, if you're a Republican and you find out someone else is a Democrat, you tend to automatically categorize that person as someone who supports baby killing and taxing the rich and government-run healthcare and recreational drug use. Or if you're a Democrat and you find out someone else is a Republican, you might tend to think that person wants to control women's bodies, give huge tax cuts to the big corporations, and they don't care about the costs of healthcare burdens for so many people, and they don't want you to ever have any fun. In the health and fitness space, people will focus all of their attention on making sure they hit their macros, or avoid carbs, or get just the right constellation of exercises done. It continues into worldview and philosophies like materialism. If you recall the famous line from Carl Sagan at the beginning of each episode of his show, The Cosmos, where he would say, "The universe is all there ever is, all there ever was, and all there ever will be." What if you're a Christian in our culture today? For many people, the moment they hear that you're a Christian, they already know that you're a bigoted, closed-minded, homophobic, racist hate monger. They get all that just from knowing you're a Christian. If you voted for one presidential candidate, you get one list of atrocities assigned to you. And if you voted for the other presidential candidate, you get a completely different list of atrocities assigned to you. Everything gets reduced down to such overly simplistic judgments. In reality, almost everything we say, do, and think, and desire, or choose is a product of such an innumerable set of variables that nobody could ever possibly calculate them all. Every single human being ever born has completely individualized set of experiences, circumstances, values, tastes, desires, talents, and passions that make us all completely unique. There has never been another human being who has been born into the same family as you, at the same time as you, with the same circumstances as you, in the same culture as you, with the same economic status as you, and the same passions as you, and the same skills as you, and interacted the same exact way as you, with the exact same people as you, etc., etc., etc. You get the idea. While it can be useful to group people together based on statistical data, there are circumstances where that's acceptable, and there are other circumstances where it's better to treat each person as the unique individual they are. Let's look at an illustration and see if we can make it more clear. I have coached small groups of boys at church camp, everywhere from 4th grade all the way up to 9th grade, about 8 different times over the past 8 or 9 years. After this many experiences, there are certain things I know going into camp. I know, for example, that young boys are going to be messy, smelly, and they can't ever seem to stay together in a group. They also never seem to remember things like water and notebooks, pens or pencils, showers, deodorant, clean underwear. Now, while this is all true, based on my own experience, there are some boys who are neat and tidy. There are some boys who pay attention, some who participate in group discussions. Some of them are typically well prepared and reliable. So for these kiddos, all the things that are true of the group are not necessarily all true of each individual boy. So it's important to remember the level at which we're dealing with people. When you're dealing with groups of people, it's more efficient to treat them as a group, with all the various attributes that are mostly true of the group. When you're dealing with an individual, you should treat them individually, being ready to challenge any assumption you may have made based on their group membership. The group identity is an okay starting point, but you have to recognize that part of dealing with an individual is to determine where they differ from the larger group. Suffice it to say, it would be better if we could all learn to keep in mind how utterly complex humans are And when regarding people in terms of groups, understand that these groups are based on statistical averages and not necessary attributes of each member. And when regarding people on an individual level, deal with them as the unique individual they are. Ask questions, limit your assumptions, allow them to explain how or why they think or do the things they do. You might understand them better. You might even find that you like them. Imagine that, liking someone you disagree with. Scandalous. So, what did you think? I hope this was helpful and thought-provoking for you. Please feel free to leave me any feedback you may have, but please do so respectfully, and I'll be respectful in return. As I mentioned before, this project is just getting started, so I need your help to get this in front of more people. If you could share feedback or link back to here, it'll help get the word out. And the best thing to do is share it with everyone you know. Plus, stop by the website and subscribe. That way you're always the first to get any new comment. You can subscribe on the website by email. You can subscribe on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you come back regularly because I'm always going to be adding new resources and you don't want to miss any of that. You'll find a link to the website here in the notes. Thanks again, and I look forward to sharing the next exciting topic with you.